We want our holiday gatherings with our families to be more like the Hallmark movies that we see. They're lovey dovey, they're communicating, they're talking about difficult things, they're moving on, and they're enjoying each other. But so often, our holidays are more like the Griswolds in Christmas Vacation. But today on Stress Talk Live, I'm going to share with you how to achieve harmony in your holiday gatherings as I share 3 expert communication strategies. And we're going to get to it in just a moment. Hi there. You are inside of Stress Talk Live, and I am your host, Marcyline Bailey. This is the place where we help women over 40 to live healthier lives through strategic stress management and solution focused self care. I'm so glad that you could join me today. This has been a busy day for me. It started this morning with a round of pickleball. Yes, we're getting into pickleball. It's fun. Trying out some new paddles and balls and just had a good time this morning playing a little bit. It's more like hitting the ball back and forth. Then I went into the third day of a mindfulness teacher training that I'm doing. Yes, you all, I've taken the plunge and I am training to be a teacher of mindfulness meditation. It's pretty intense. I've spent 3 days with the teacher, the lead teacher, and the cohort that I'm in. And so it's just been a fascinating weekend for me. Just fascinating. You'll learn a little bit more about what I'm learning soon. This was the first weekend. It was pretty intense, but very enlightening. And I look forward to sharing all of those things with you soon. So we're talking. Oh, let me share a few things with you before we get started. As always, please follow ML Bailey Consultants on Facebook and Instagram. That's where I drop all kinds of information about maintaining low stress levels and taking good care. You will also find more information about ML Bailey Consultants as well as more content on at this link. You will also find the link to sign up for our newsletter, which goes out monthly. So make sure that you take a look at that. I do want you to sign up for the newsletter. I always have some good stuff in there, as well as special offers and information about what's coming up. So you'll know about our programming and our content. And then, last but not least, here is our website. This is where you'll find more information about ML Bailey Consultants as well. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about how to achieve harmony in your holiday gatherings. What happens during the holidays when we all come together? Well, when we all come together, it's supposed to be really lovey dovey and wonderful, and we're supposed to get along well and have a good time. But what often happens is we bring a lot of that baggage that we've gathered over the years to the family gathering, right? We bring that baggage and it's exposed. It's exposed. And that kind of takes away from the enjoyment that many of us want to have and desire to have with our families. Well, my theory is that a lot of it boils down to communication. Families tend not to talk about those hard things. We gloss over them. We say, just forget it and move on. But it doesn't do anything about getting rid of the feelings that we have. When we feel as if we've been hurt, ignored, overlooked by other family members, those feelings remain and we hold those in. And unfortunately, it often festers. It's like an infection that's inside. It festers and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger because of what we tell ourselves about it. And also because we've not had a chance to communicate how what has happened has caused harm to us. Well, I know that there are many reasons we don't talk about those difficult things because sometimes our family members don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to accept their role in the harm. But also, we may not want to cause harm to them, so we just hold on to it. When I'm working with my clients, I always encourage them to talk to their family members and share some of those difficult things. It's not always easy, but there are methods that we can use to do this, right? There are methods and there are ways that therapists and coaches can help their clients to talk, to help them to talk to their family members and to others. Communication is a key, I don't want to say it's a weapon, but it's a key tool. It's like an all in one. You know, when you have that, the all in one, the screwdriver, the pen pocket knife, the bottle opener, all in one. It's like an all in one, all purpose strategy, tool that we can use to help us navigate relationships. It often boils down to communication. And I want to share a situation that occurred when I was in college, and this is quick, and then I'll get into how we can do this when the three strategies when we're with our family and during family gatherings on the holidays. My roommate and I, and we're still friends today, but my college roommate and I had a situation where another friend called and asked to speak to me, and I didn't realize that. I didn't realize the phone was for me. I'd left the room. When I returned, I just started doing what I was doing. Well, my roommate went, took her shower. I had taken my shower. She went, took her shower. She came back and she said, "Didn't you get the phone?" And I said, "No, I didn't get the phone." She said, "Oh, well, the phone is for you." And I said, "Really?" Because the phone, I didn't hang up the phone. The phone was just lying there. As it turns out, a friend had called to speak with me. Well, what in turn happened, my roommate thought that I was angry with her because I didn't hear her say that the phone was for me. I thought she was angry with me because I didn't hear it and I left our other friend hanging on the other line. And so for a period of 2 weeks, we didn't talk. We didn't talk to each other. We didn't we didn't we didn't talk, we didn't speak. We were in the room together. We were quiet. It was awful. I even talked to my RA and said, "You know what? I need to move because this is just not working. She's angry with me. I don't know what it is that is she's angry about, but I need to get out of here." My roommate did the same thing. Well, finally, I went to her and I said, "Look, I'm sorry. I don't know what I did, but I apologize, and I hope we can get past this." She started laughing. She said, "I thought you were mad at me." And I said, "No, I wasn't angry with you. I thought you were angry with me." There, the lack of communication. The lack of communication caused us to lose 2 weeks of the talking and laughing that we often enjoyed with each other. The the stories about our day, the just the fun we were having, the lack of communication. So I'm saying this and I'm sharing these three strategies with you because the lack of communication can rob us of enjoying our family to the fullest and enjoying the family gathering to the fullest and valuing the time that we have together. So let's get into number one, the first of the strategies. Okay, so one of the strategies that I will encourage you to use, particularly during family gatherings, is to listen more and talk less. Should I do it again? Listen more and talk less. You'd be amazed at the things that you will hear when you're actually listening, not just a passing listening, where somebody says something, you only catch two or three words, or maybe one or two words, but actually listening, paying attention, being mindful, so to speak, as you're listening to what is being said. But not only listening to the words, listen to how they are being said, listen to the tone and inflection. Notice the body language because communication is not just what we hear, it's also what we see. So notice the body language. Notice when someone is feeling a little uncomfortable. Notice when someone is excited. Pay attention on purpose. This is part of being mindful. It is one of the tenets of mindfulness, paying attention on purpose. So listen more and talk less. You can do this by using active listening skills. And I'm going to go through those active listening skills. And it's something that as therapists we learn and we teach. One of the skills is to pay attention, as I said, and pay attention on purpose. Really watch a person, watch their face, watch their mouth, so that you can know you really are hearing what they're saying. Like I said, not one or two words, but all the words. Listen to tone and inflection, pay attention to body language. As you are listening, refrain from judgment. Now, we're notorious for listening, half listening as we're crafting a response, right? We're not fully hearing the message because we're thinking about what we're going to say in an answer as an answer to what was said to us. Or we're trying to figure out what words we're going to use when we respond, or we're just thinking about other things, or we're judging what's being said. Well, they shouldn't say that. I don't know why they should say that. Well, that hurts my feelings, so I'm not going to receive it. Well, I'm not going to pay attention because I just don't like what they say. We want to refrain from judgment, judging what we're hearing and what we're seeing. Just be objective. Be objective, not subjective, but objective. And that means listening, seeing, taking in all of the information, the data, so to speak, without emotion, without opinion, without judgment. So, with active listening, number one, you're going to pay attention. Number two, you're going to refrain from judgment. Number three, you're going to paraphrase what you've heard and just reflect. Sit back and notice whether what you've paraphrased is what was being said. Paraphrasing is very simple. Sometimes you can just take what you heard, the words you heard, or you can say, hey, this is what I heard. This is what I am hearing. And then just express what you think you've heard. That gives the other person the opportunity to say, yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to communicate to you. Absolutely. Or, no, that's really not what I'm saying. And it gives them an opportunity to clarify. Okay. Next is clarification. You can ask questions. What do you mean? Ask open ended questions. What do you mean? How is it you're thinking that way? When did you start thinking that way? When did this happen? What can I do to make things different? Where did this occur? Open-ended questions. An open-ended question is something that is answered in a way other than yes or no. No yes or no questions. No yes or no questions. Let's refrain from yes or no questions. But you can get to open-ended questions by using what, when, how, where, why. That's how you start them. Okay? How, why, where, when, what. And then finally, summarize what you've heard or summarize your understanding of what you've heard. And that may sound like paraphrasing, but when you summarize your understanding of what you've heard, you've taken the entire conversation and you regurgitate, so to speak, what you think or what you believe is the outcome of the conversation. Okay. So when we talk less, when we talk less and listen more, we are using active listening skills. And we're using the things that I've just mentioned: paying attention, refraining from judgment, paraphrasing and reflecting, clarifying by asking questions, and then summarizing our understanding of what was heard. Can you give me some feedback about what you think about that? Do you have any comments or questions? If so, drop them into the comment section. And this is not only for those of you watching live, it's also for those of you who are listening to the podcast or watching the replay of this live stream. Just drop your comments in the comment section as it relates to active listening. I'd love to see them. The second strategy I'd like to share with you when we're coming to our family gathering is STFU, if you only want to be right. STFU, if you only want to be right. Now, a lot of us, when we get with our family, we just want to prove what we know. We just want to show that we know best. And we're going to go the full 100 yards to get that touchdown, showing that we were right. What does STFU mean? I'm sure many of you know what that means, especially if you text, if you look at social media, any of that. But STFU basically is Shut the F up. Now, I don't want to offend anybody, but really, just STFU. If you only want to be right, if your goal is to show that you're right and that you're the only one who's right. That's how arguments start, right? No one wants to bend. Their opinion is the only one that matters. You only want to be right. Just STFU. Just STFU at your family gathering. How do you know when a person only wants to be right? Well, they're the person who has to have the last word. They're the person who has to have the last say no matter what. If you say the sky is blue, they say the sky is red. If you say, well, Susie made the potato salad, they may say, no, Aunt Joan made the potato salad. If you say, you know what, I saw an article about ABC, they're going to say, yeah, I saw that article too, and that's not what it said. STFU, y'all. STFU. Nobody cares if you're right. That's not really important unless it saves someone from harm. Then, okay. Then you need to be right. But otherwise, let it go. Just let it go. The other thing that shows that a person only wants to be right are the I told you so. Yep, see, I told you so. And that can be said in different ways. I told you so isms. That's what I call it. I told you so isms. They're the ones that, well, when you say something, yeah, I told you that first. Yeah, you heard it from me. Because why? They have to be right. So when you go to your family gathering, the second strategy, and this is expert communication strategies, is STFU. Shut the F up. If your goal is only to be right and only to show that you are right, just be quiet. Just be quiet. Listen. Listen more and talk less. And then finally, when you come to your family gatherings, set clear boundaries about what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. See, we ignore this, but this is really foundational. You don't want anybody coming talking about your nephew's baby mama, especially when his wife is there, right? Right? So set clear boundaries about what is acceptable, what you are willing to discuss, what is going to be, what you're open to discussing in your home. Also, set boundaries for the expectations you have for interactions. If you know family members are coming and they are not getting along, set boundaries around that. Make it clear that, okay, we're coming together. Let's put whatever the issues are aside so that we can have an enjoyable time. And if you can't do that, then I'm sorry, but I'd rather you just stayed home. That's hard for us sometimes. It's hard to do, but it's very clear. It's very clear because we want to have harmony in our households and when the family comes together. Another thing that I'd like to share with you as it relates to setting clear boundaries. Bill Eady is a licensed clinical social worker and also an attorney. And he's written a book and it's called BIF, Quick Responses to High Conflict People, Their Personal Attacks, Hostile Email, Social Media Meltdowns. He developed a strategy to deal with conflict and communication conflict. And it's called BIF. BIF stands for brief, informative, friendly, and firm. And he has a protocol for developing communication that is brief, informative, friendly, and firm. And I wanted to share this resource with you because you may want to look at it. Because if you are dealing with people who are high conflict, or you know you're going into a situation where there's conflict, or you just want to know how to handle communication that is that causes conflict, then this book is for you. You can find this book at this link, bookshop.org. And I'll need to share with you that it is an affiliate link, but you can find it. Just look at it, just take a look. You'll go to the page that describes the book and gives additional information about it. But I thought that might be helpful to you going into the holiday season. So we have talked about how to achieve harmony in your holiday gatherings, 3 expert communication strategies. I've talked about listen more and talk less, listen more and talk less. We have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen more, talk less. I described how you can utilize active listening skills, paying attention on purpose, being deliberate in paying attention, refraining from judgment, paraphrasing and reflecting, clarifying, and then finally summarizing your understanding of what was discussed. As you're listening more and talking less, make sure you STFU if you only want to be right. If your goal for communicating is to show that you are right, especially if it causes conflict, then STFU. You don't have to be right all the time. You can know that you're right and you can be silent. You can still listen more and talk less. And then finally, set clear boundaries about what is acceptable, what you're willing to discuss, and what is off limits, as well as your expectations for the interactions that will occur during the holiday season and the holiday family gathering. And then I shared with you a resource that I believe will be helpful to you as you are dealing with um, high conflict situations with people, communication situations that where you need to really hone in on how to respond and how to respond in a way that maintains your dignity as well as your respect for the other person. So that is all for now. I certainly hope this was helpful to you. We're going to continue setting the table for the holidays because when November 1st comes, the holiday season is on, and we want you to get through the holidays without losing it. Also, remember, you will, if you're on the email list, you will receive an email this week inviting you to participate in our Get Through the Holidays Without Losing It program experience. The Get Through the Holidays Without Losing It experience. Look for that email. It's going to be fun. You're going to receive a link to a video daily sharing strategies as well as information to help you get through these holidays without being overwhelmed, overworked, and approaching burnout. Well, that's all for now. I'm Marcyline Bailey. I'm so glad that you joined me I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. That's it. Take good care.